Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has officially commenced the first day of his premiership. According to Bernama, he arrived at the main block of Bangunan Perdana Putra, which houses the Prime Minister's office at about 9:55 a.m, where he was received by Chief Secretary to the Government Tan Sri Muhammad Suki Ali. In a noonday press conference, the PM said that tackling the high cost of living would be his first priority. He also announced that the unity government under his leadership has achieved two-thirds majority of the Dewan Rakyat, with the latest participation by Gabungan Rakyat Sabah. Anwar said the matter was conveyed to him by Sabah Chief Minister Datuk Seri Hajiji Noor, who is also chairman of GRS. Anwar said this would further enhance the country's political stability and enable focus on works to raise the dignity of the country and boost the economy to defend the people's interests. On the formation of the cabinet, Anwar said that its size would be reduced, and he is also seeking the agreement of members who would be appointed to reduce their salaries. According to him, the formation of the cabinet is still in discussion and will be announced as soon as possible. Anwar adds that the respective parties would propose names for his consideration. Meanwhile, Perikatan Nasional in a statement said that they have decided to play the opposition role in the 15th Parliament to serve as a check and balance. PN Chairman Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin thanked PM Anwar for offering the coalition an opportunity to participate, adding that to ensure stability in the country's politics and people's welfare, he said PN is prepared to explore other forms of collaboration in the space of relationships between the current administration and the opposition. Earlier on Friday, Muhyiddin also congratulated Anwar on his appointment as the country's 10th PM. Following the palace naming Anwar as PM on Thursday, Muhyiddin had still been skeptical of Anwar's legitimacy, calling on the newly minted Premier to provide evidence of majority support from the Dewan Rakyat. In response, Anwar has pledged to table a motion of confidence to kickstart the Parliament session on December 19th. Datuk Seri Robert Tan Chung Meng will step down as IGB's Group CEO effective January 1st, 2023. In a statement, IGB said that he will remain with the group in the role of a non-independent, non-executive director to facilitate the change in leadership during the transition. The property developer also announced that Tan Boon Lee, the current Deputy Group CEO, will succeed Robert Tan as the Group CEO. In addition, Tan Mei Sian, the current Head of Group Strategy and Risk, will assume the role of Deputy Group CEO. According to the statement, the board of IGB placed on record their highest gratitude and appreciation to Robert Tan for his leadership. The group explained that this is part of the leadership succession plan approved by IGB's board on November 25th, 2022. A respected name in the property industry, he was involved in various development projects carried out by the IGB Group, notably Mid-Valley City. Robert Tan has been on the board of IGB since 1995, and he was appointed as Group CEO on March 30th, 2018. Boon Lee was appointed as Deputy Group CEO of IGB on June 1st, 2018 and has more than 20 years of experience in the property and hotel industry. Mei Sian also assumed her role on June 1st, 2018. Petronas Chemicals Group's net profit slipped by 3.5% year-on-year for the third quarter of FY22 to 1.895 billion as its margins felt the pressure of higher operating costs. This was despite a 22% growth in revenue from 5.78 billion to 7.03 billion, driven by higher product prices supported by elevated crude oil prices against the backdrop of the Russia-Ukraine conflict and stronger US dollar. Petchem also recorded a higher plant utilization rate of 97% for the quarter under review, mainly due to lower plant maintenance and statutory turnaround activities. MD and CEO Muhammad Yusri Mohamed Yusof says that going forward, Petchem anticipates softened demand, particularly for polymer products, as high costs of energy persist amid extended COVID-19 lockdowns across China. He explains that after having declined to 2021 levels in recent weeks, the prices of olefins and derivatives are expected to moderate further until China eases their restrictions. However, he expects urea prices to remain high between $550 per ton and $700 per ton as energy prices remain elevated due to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict. Muhammad Yusri also commented on the fire incident in late October at the Pengerang Integrated Complex, saying that while no damage was currently found, the facilities will only resume operations once all considerations and requirements are met. Axiata Group registered a net loss of 52.4 million for its third quarter versus last year's net profit of 349.6 million, which makes this the telco's third straight quarterly net loss. In contrast, revenue improved by 11% year-on-year to 7.26 billion from 6.54 billion ringgit. Despite the softer bottom line, Axiata still declared an interim dividend of 5 cents per share. In its board filing, Axiata said its earnings were dragged by significant foreign exchange losses of 346.7 million, along with depreciation costs and higher finance costs and taxes. Moving into the last quarter of the year, Axiata said its overall focus will be to sustain strong underlying performance in order to exceed its targets and complete pending mergers and acquisitions transactions. In a statement, Chairman Tan Sri Syahril Ridza Ridwan said the rate of completions for M&As, including the Celcom Digi merger and the expansion of EDOTCO's tower portfolio, all point to the group's agility in navigating the current macroeconomic climate and delivering balanced results. Joint Acting CEO Vivek Sood also added that the group is working closely with its opcos in frontier markets, namely Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Nepal, to manage risks associated with deteriorated macroeconomic conditions. Bausted Heavy Industries Corp says the proactiveness of the government in completing the Littoral Combat Ship project within the set time frame augurs well for the group's prospects. BHIC said that all parties have expressed their commitment to support efforts to continue the LCS project following bilateral meetings between officials from the Malaysian government, the French government and LCS's main subcontractor, the Naval Group. BHIC said this while reporting its latest third quarter earnings, where net profit plunged 95% year-on-year to 564,000. Revenue for the quarter dropped 17% year-on-year to 35.87 million from 43.33 million previously. Looking ahead, BHIC says its priority remains to complete the projects awarded to the group within the stipulated cost and time to the satisfaction of its customers. Under its Reinventing Bausted strategy, BHIC intends to capitalise on its strengths in defence contracting while at the same time exploring new businesses. To recap, the Bausted Group has come under scrutiny when in August it came to light that not a single ship had been completed to date, despite the government having forked out 6.08 billion ringgit. The contract had been awarded to BHIC's unit Bausted Naval Shipyard through direct negotiations in 2011.